Hello fam, and welcome back to another episode of Because Life Can Be a Niche. I am so glad to have you here in the living room with me once again. For those of you who are new, welcome. Just come in, have a seat. We talk about everything in life, everything that has to do with life, and there's no one particular thing. So welcome. Just come in, get in where you fit in, have a seat. Let's join the conversation. And for those of you who are repeat offenders, thank you so much for doing life with us. We are so glad and so thankful and grateful to have you here. You guys know how we always start. I'll have to give you the rundown of the social channels. So if you are following on social media, get at me at KD Bryant Writes. That's at KD Bryant Writes. That's on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And hey, you know, I drop a blog every now and then when I get the notion. Got to get better about that. But Life Unfolding is the blog. It's on kdbryantwrites.com. Hang out with us. We drop a Farmhouse Fridays every now and then. Just me having fun cooking, because that's one of my favorite things to do. So be sure to join us there. And of course, you guys know what's coming next. It is the tea of the episode. And the tea of the episode is Tower of London. I am so in love with so many different loose leaf teas, but I can tell you that this is one that it just gets your senses. It really just gets you right where you need to be. So I hope I'm not spilling it. Tower of London is the tea of the episode. But I'm going to ask you guys, if you are a tea drinker, a tea lover, I've already shared how much I love tea, and I especially love loose leaf tea, and I love it with my amber rock sugar. Send me your comments on your favorite tea. I would love to try it and give it a taste, because that is something that just puts me in a wonderful space. So please do that. Please share and let all of us know in the community what you're drinking and what your favorite tea is. So with all of that being said, welcome to this episode. I'm a little bit giddy to this evening as we're recording, because we're dropping on Thursday, I hope. If Mama can get the editing together, because I got to get it together. But I'm dropping on Thursday, but it's Wednesday night. It's late because we had a lot going on around this house. But I had to mention that today we finally hit 100 subscribers. Finally. Like, y'all, thank you. Because we've been out here getting it in. I think it's 12 episodes in, and I've always known that this is a gift. I'm grateful for it. God laid it on my heart to do it. So I'm not looking at it for the numbers, but significant numbers really do matter. And I kept saying, man, when it hits 100, you know, that's a big deal. That's something to celebrate. One was something to celebrate. But on the YouTube channel, if you are watching the video version of this and you're on the YouTube channel, then thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and take us over the top. Take us past 100. Would greatly appreciate it. And for those of you who are listening on wherever you get your podcast and you're listening to this, thank you so much for subscribing. But hey, come over and take a look at the YouTube channel, because we sometimes drop a little bit more content there as well. So with that, let's go on and get into the topic. I don't even know. I find myself saying this a lot. I don't even know where to start. I'm going to put this tea to the side. So it's the eve of a virtual open house, I think. Because I think I might have written about this on my Instagram page, that we have a choice. My particular school system has a choice to do digital or in person. And for my family, I chose digital for the first semester. And it's just been so much happening, especially in parent world, in parent land. It has been a lot going on. I think I talked about this too on the last episode, that when I feel like things are out of control internally and I can't control things, then what I do is I kind of organize and control what I can control. And I ended up gutting closets and doing all this madness to reorganize the closets and everything, and reorganize the house really, and just get things cleaned up and tidied and put away as we get closer, because the first day of school is actually next week. So now there's this, things are organized, got some things tidied up with the house. I have the children set up, ready to rock and roll with digital learning. But it feels so different. It's interesting that it just feels weird to me as a parent. This is the first time, of course, that I'm not taking them to open house to meet teachers. I'm actually finding out who the teachers are going to be on tomorrow. And it's a little bit of nervousness, I think, on our end, especially some other moms and dads that I've been chatting with, because we're entering into a little bit of unknown territory in terms of, what is the digital learning experience going to be like? We know now that there's been more time for planning and more time to get organized. We know that it's going to be much more structured and rigid and more regimented for the kids to simulate as if they were really there, but that they'll just be doing it digitally. And with that comes a little bit of, okay, this is a job for us. We're not just choosing digital learning and just, set it and forget it like that machine or whatever. Press the button. Okay, start school at whatever time and I'll see you at 2:40. This is going to be a much more interactive, involved process for parents who've chosen that, or for those who, if your system chose to just strictly go virtual and digital. I almost envy that a little bit, actually, because, you're all in the unknown, the abyss together. But when you're in a school that's hybrid, and, I'm hearing that the majority are actually going back in person, and then, maybe there may be a smaller number choosing digital, and then you're wondering like, oh, is it going to be the same experience? Are they going to be learning at the same level, at the same rate by not being in person? So then you have that anxiety there as a parent. And so you're already worried about, being a proctor, because you got to monitor. You have to, work, because I work full time. And thankfully my mom is here with me. So she'll be doing the majority of the monitoring, because I'll be online working while they're online schooling. But it is a little bit of just, this is some different territory, and not even getting caught up in the debate of whether you should go in person or whether you should go digitally. I hope everyone made the decision that you prayed on and that you feel is best for your family. I know that's what I did. And so it getting past all of that, because this is really no time for anybody to be debating about, what's right, what's wrong, what science says. It's really no time for debate about that. At this point, it is, we're going to school, we're digitally learning, we've got some people going in person, and we all want our children to do well. Period. That's it. Everybody wants their child to succeed, but you want all the children in the school to succeed. It's not just about my children. It's about all of them, and getting them set up for the best way to learn. I know that some kids who are going in person are going to be missing their friends who are digital, and I know my children are already like, oh man, I'm not going to get to see such and such. I thought they were going to digital, and now they're going in person. So kids kind of feel like they're missing out on something. So now I'm like, okay, what can we do to reinforce some type of positive something so that they're not thinking they're missing something or losing something by doing the digital world, that they're not missing out on, friendship bonds and things that may be happening. And so now that pressure is on, because I don't know what that will look like. I know we're not play dating, we're not visiting, we are still actively involved in being careful and being diligent in helping to flatten the curve by just not having our bodies out in the mix of whatever's out there. We're just not out there. And so, you have that as a parent, like, how can I create a sense of you're good, don't worry about the fact that you're not there, you're still going to get the full experience of everything, it's going to be a great school year. My pep talk is a little different of what I normally say. I imagine other parents are going through the same thing. I'd love to hear what you guys are doing, but I did do something, because I told y'all when things get a little topsy-turvy for me internally, I just go ahead and go external and start doing things there. So now what I did do, I set up some structure, because the end of the school year, the kids had laptops, and they were, we started off great. They were getting up, getting showers on schedule, and getting the laptops and doing their work. But they were, chilling on the sofa, sprawled out in a corner somewhere. I got a lot of nooks around the house because I'm a nook person. I like to curl up in a corner somewhere and just, with a soft lighter and candle and just do whatever I need to do. So they find one of the nooks and they did all that. But to me, this had to be different, because it's not a nook time. This is school, and this is serious school time. So, there's no chilling with pillows and all of that around you. I want them to have as much of an experience of what it would be like if you were sitting at a desk in the classroom with the teacher. And so I set up their stations, and I'll share them. I'll show them on the video what it looks like if you're watching on the YouTube channel. So I ordered desk, put the desk together myself, and put cool lighting and just comfortable chairs that they will be seated in for the majority of the day, and did the best that I possibly could to create an environment that looks very structured and like it's learning, because I know the value of creativity and being able to just chill and curl up somewhere and do your work. I love that, the thought of that, but that's not the type of school that they attend. If they were attending a school that did that had bean bags all over the floor and the kids were just doing their thing, then yeah, of course I would. But because that's not the case, I had to do something to put that in place. And with that came, okay, what else do we need to do to make sure that we have the structure that we need so that we can seamlessly return when outside opens up to my liking, so that we can seamlessly return back to in-person school. And if we all pray together, when two or more gathered, we gotta pray together that they can go back to second semester in person. that it'll be safe, and that this thing that's out of control will be prayed back under control, so they can get out of the house and go back and socialize with people and have fun. So that part is where Mom and I have talked, and I've just started just putting all the rules here in place, pretty much similar to what they would have at school. You're getting up, you're getting showered, you're getting dressed as if we were getting in the car. You're going to do all the stuff and pretend like you're going to get in the car and we're going to drive to school. So I want everything done, and your little self dressed and in your seat on time. And I have menus of, hey, this is your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We're going to have menus set just like you would at school. And, this is what you have. It's not going to be, Mom, it's lunchtime. What will you make me such and such? We're going to do just like your lunch menu goes up on Sunday night, and your breakfast menu, and we're going to stick to that. No, I'm not calling any audibles. We're going to stick to whatever the schedule is, because that's what happens at school. You don't go to school and say, I don't think I want to eat that. You got a choice usually, but in the house of the school of Mom and Mimi, there is no choice. You're just going to eat what's on the menu, and you're going to know in advance. You're not taking special requests, because I just want to. I don't want it to be a place of comfort. I don't want them to be too happy to be home. I really want you to be ready to, I appreciate the digital learning experience, but I'm ready to go back. I want you to be ready to go back. I need for you to need to be at the school, and I need for things to be under control so that you can safely go back. That's what we all want. And we all got to pray for that together. But another thing that we've done is, for recess time, I already have plans for, okay, you're going outside today. You get this many minutes outside to work on this. We're going to work on your, free throw skills, or, we're doing calisthenics, or, push-ups. We're doing something every day. So when you're going to have PE, you're just going to have home PE. So those are just some of the things that we're choosing to do as parents, to keep some type of simulation of what it's like at school. I know that, for specials, we're going to have whatever the school offers. And if I don't know yet what that'll be, because I haven't gotten my schedule yet, but we're going to supplement that with something here if there is a limitation. And in some things there are limitations, so that you get your art and your learning. And I know Spanish 1 is not going to be offered for us, and I really wanted the younger kiddo to get into that. So hopefully he'll get it second semester and we'll be back in person. But already I'm looking for ways to introduce language, another language to him. So I'm sure I'm not the only one. I know there are a lot of parents who are planning. So everybody, it's gear up time, because thinking back in March, we laughed, we joked, a little bit. Things got more and more serious, and then things got locked down. By mid-April, you're like, whoa, it just went from lock it down for a couple of weeks, lock it down for 30 days, lock it down till June. And here we are, August. And life is different. And I try not to say new normal. Because I'm just not ready to say that this is the new normal. I know things will change for sure going forward, but to what extent, I have no idea. So to all the parents who in March thought, oh, we'll be back I really thought we were going to be back in school and that we wouldn't be here, and we're here. And I know that there's a lot of anxiety with it, especially for parents who probably chose to go in person because there was no other option, and the anxiety there, or parents who were, tired of their kids at home, just like, you're going back. It's a lot of emotions, I think, that we're all managing as moms, as the children are managing them. My oldest son is definitely saddened. Like, he loves school. He always has loved school. In the morning, he's sleepyhead, but in the morning when it's time to get up, he's like, oh, school, got school, like excited about it. My younger one, the relentless one, I need to talk to him, because I need to find out what his prayers have been, because he is like, he was like, Mommy, God is so good. I was like, he's so happy. And you talking about somebody really happy about the digital learning thing? Because I told you guys on the last episode, this is my kid who's a little bit more shy, but not. He's, shy at first, and then you realize that's the opposite of who he really is. But at home, he's never shy. But he has always begged for a digital learning experience when he's, especially at the beginning of school, he's not feeling it because he doesn't know anybody, or he has to get to know his teacher. And so this is like a blessing to him. But I told y'all on the episode that I talked about him being a relentless kiddo, he prayed to God and like, God, I know you're going to make it happen. And he just had faith. And then literally that night, what he wanted came. I mean, just the tweet came, and in a couple of days he was, living out his dream, playing with a FaZe Clan member. And I'm wondering, like, did you pray for digital learning before all of this happened? I'm talking about like a long time ago. He's been asking since he was a little bitty kid, like first grade, Mommy, can you teach me at home? No, I cannot. So I wonder, like, has this Joker been praying? We better check, because his stuff seems to go through pretty quickly and get answered quickly. But it's definitely something that, as we're navigating all of this, I'm just trying to be very careful about checking on them, because it's easy to get caught up in, I have to get the desk, I have to get organized, I have to have, things on the wall, I have to have my, the laws and legislative branches and all that. I had all that anyway, but I'm, making it more prominent and putting it in places and recreating or simulating these workspaces that are efficient but comfortable, but designed for work. And so it's, it's really about me and my mom, getting everything together. and organizing the menus and setting up outside time and relaxation time and when we're going to do this, and everything is regimented and scheduled, because that's how you run a school. You can't just run a school willy-nilly. You have times and everything. So you're going to be in your classroom for that set period of time, and we have to be on top of everything else around that being timed and organized. So there is no time for, I want a hot dog instead of whatever you got going on in the kitchen. It's going to be what's on the menu. But in all of that, and in all of the parents doing, I'm, as on the eve of the virtual, I guess, open house or whatever, I'm now pivoting to making sure they're okay. And making sure that checking on them, it's hard enough being in middle school, because both of my children will be in middle school together this year for the first time. But then, some of your friends are there, some are not, and you're not socializing with them as you normally would have. So there's a lot to manage for the children too. So that part, I think, has really given all of us as parents something to think about, and how we handle it now, I think, will have a great impact on how their year goes. How we roll now will definitely impact how the entire year goes. But I tell you what, I'm really, really grateful for on both sides, for children and for the adults. I am grateful, first of all, for life, and that we have been healthy and doing well and together. But I'm also grateful for the unexpected, unknown, uncertainty, and the requirement of us, the requirement to be flexible, to show grace, to be understanding, and using this as a moment to teach, because there are so many life lessons in this, and how you're going to be getting your lesson. It's a lot of life lessons here for all of us. One, respecting each other's decisions. My kids have talked to friends who are going back, and some who are digitally learning. And it's so nice to see and hear that they have not judged or questioned, why are they going back, or, why are they not going, or none of that. And that's a good thing, that they're not judging anyone's decision. They're not questioning any friends, and I want them to keep that. And the same goes for the adults here. Whether you agree or disagree, this is a nice little lesson on respecting someone else's decision. It's a great lesson for kids. It's an even greater lesson for adults. And because we all have the same goal in mind, and that's to get our education and to keep things moving along seamlessly in spite of. And another wonderful lesson in it is the is teaching them the value and beauty in how you handle the unexpected, and how being flexible is a necessary life lesson. And I am thankful that they're getting it at this age. Some people don't get it until they become adults, having to sacrifice or compromise or change your plans because of extenuating circumstances beyond your control. And some people don't do well now when they do. Some people get old and experience that for the first time. And so for the kids to be going through that, and hey, I gotta level up. I've got to figure it out and make it work with what I have, and roll with this decision and do my very best with what's going to come. So that's a wonderful lesson that you couldn't have put in a curriculum. You couldn't have really planned it. It's not something that you just sit around in your conversation, playing 20 questions. What if there were a pandemic and you couldn't go to school? I mean, it'll be in somebody's board game. That's a good idea. Somebody needs to create a pandemic board game. But what if? What would you do if? I might do that. That's a good idea. But that alone in itself. And then one of the greatest lessons is the appreciation for life and what you have, and to be grateful for that. Not everyone can stay at home, but be grateful that you can, and that be thankful for the things that you wouldn't have asked for, things that have happened, but be grateful anyway, and show and recognize all the things that you've been given and afforded. You have a computer, and they're going to be giving us devices, but you have a computer, you have a workstation, you have a place that you can go to study and have quiet time. And it's little things that you just be grateful for that. And the biggest thing out of all of this for all of us is, a strength, testing your strength and your faith, and how you handle that, and how you navigate it for yourself, but you show grace for everything else around you. You give grace to others, because we're all dealing with something in this that we didn't expect, and you have to give grace. And it's a good reminder, because they're watching me, to see me giving grace to people, and understanding if something that I thought would be on the website is not there, and not what, I'm sure it's crazy, I'm sure it's hectic, I'm sure they'll update that soon. It's just a matter of all of us showing a level of grace to our neighbors and to our friends. And so those are just some of the life lessons in this that we have to be grateful for, and we have to be thankful for, and figure it out. I know you didn't know we would be here. I sure didn't know we would be here. When I started off, doing a few Facebook Lives and joking about, my kids and my mom and that new math she was refusing to learn, I didn't think we would be back here in August of 2020 and still at a place where we're not able to move about freely. And it is surreal, and definitely one where I don't want to miss not a nanosecond of whatever lesson is to be learned, and what I'm supposed to be doing as a human. I'm not missing out on that. And I'm embracing digital learning with my children. I said this at the beginning in March, this is a gift, because I don't know of many parents who send their kids to school, if you're not homeschooling, and you give them away for 7 hours a day, 8 hours a day. You drop them off, and they are under the tutelage and supervision of other adults, and you trust them with your children. But this was actually a little bonus gift, because once they go to kindergarten, that's their life. That's those 7 hours or 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, excluding holidays, that's just time you don't have with them. That's time they are not in your sight. They're not in your purview unless you're volunteering at the school or something. That's time that you have said, this is where they are and this is where I am. And I took that and looked at it as a gift, that they're here, and I've got eyes on people. They're right in front of me, and that's something that I said I was grateful for in March. Seeing so many lives lost and what we're dealing with in our country, I'm even more grateful for that extra time. It's bonus time. And I know it's about how you perceive things. This is a bonus. This is a parent, kid, family, kids, this is just caregiver kid bonus time that you legally could not have unless you are signed up to homeschool your kids. You cannot just keep them home for an entire semester and look at their little lovely faces for those 7 or 8 hours a day. And I'm grateful for that. I may be alone in saying I may not be in the majority, but think about that as a parent. That's bonus time. And if you are in a position where you have to work and you have to be on a job, if you're essential in the hospitals, or you just have the type of job that you have to be there, or you may lose your job if you're not there, I get it. I get it. It is hard and difficult, and I'm encouraged. And I'm hoping that, more people are doing this, but I'm encouraged by the cooperative ideals that are being adopted out of it. There are, I've heard people call them pods, or, parents who are, kind of banding together in a neighborhood or a community, or family members who have people who have to work, or, it's a single parent home. I mean, I get that. If it wasn't for my mom, it would be very hard. I would have to have some things in place to make this happen as seamlessly as I think it's going to happen. But to see people saying, we're going to pool our money and pay for a tutor to come in to help manage them homeschooling while I work, or while I go to work, or while I'm, on my computer and at work or whatever. And or to see people saying we're going to pool our money, and if you can take care of them, trusting a neighbor or trusting a family member to say, okay, you've got them this week or the first 2 weeks, and then they'll come here. Seeing that cooperative spirit come out of it, it's something that makes you feel good. It is showing a lesson that we probably should have gotten much sooner out of all of this, and it's taken a little longer for us to get there. We're getting there, but seeing people still pulling together to figure it out, seeing family members and friends sacrificing with each other we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna get through it, and helping each other is a beautiful thing. So if you're a parent and you're out there and you're going through, I know, I get it, I feel you. I think we all are. No matter what we chose, we are going through a change, and we are going through decisions of unknown. We don't know what's going to pop up. We really do not know what's going to happen. So we are all out here, just praying and hoping for the absolute best outcome possible, and praying for each other, and praying for those who are in person, and praying for those who are at home, because we really don't know. Our school, nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody knows how this thing is going to go down, and the good part is none of us know. That's the good part. Nobody has a crystal ball and has an advantage over anyone. We are all entering this unknown space together. And I pray that we get through it and navigate through it with grace and kindness and cooperative spirit, and everything that is good and right and true and done in love together to get it all worked out. Because arguing and debating and disagreeing and really, this no point. We are here and we're in it, and we're in the thick of it. So we might as well just ride on. Let's ride on and just see what happens as we do that. So parents, if you have anything to share, I would love to hear it. How are you? If you're sending your kids to school, how are you feeling? Get in the comments. I would love to hear, how you prepared your kids to go back. Because even if they are going back, it's still different. You're still talking to them about washing hands and social distancing and wearing masks. Whatever your conversations are, it's a totally different conversation than last school year, when we all started last school year. And if you're digital learning and if you've chosen that, I would love to hear what you're doing to add the structure and to keep things as close to a regimented school schedule or situation as possible. There are so many ideas and so many things floating around, but the only way we can know about it is to talk about it. So share and tell me what you're doing. I'll probably drop a blog with just a list of all the things, because I wasn't going to get into all of the stuff that I'm doing, but I'll show you a few pictures and show you some areas of what we've set up here and what my plans are. But that lunch list, that lunch menu, that is done. And I didn't ask for any input from anybody under 5 feet. And I'm 5'3", so there you go. But I just thank you guys for coming in the living room. This was a different episode because it's the eve of the virtual digital open house or whatever. I don't know. I got to get it together. I got to get myself together and get on that computer and figure out what it is, whatever it is. I'm going to be doing it tomorrow. And then we're going to be in the thick of it this time next week will be the first day of school. So I hope you all are getting what you need and talking to each other and getting help and getting in groups and pods or whatever cooperative groups you can find of, parents surviving back to school 2020, because it's definitely not what we thought it would be, but it is going to be what we can make out of it if we keep the faith and get the lesson, figure it out, what the lesson is for you and yours, what we're all supposed to be learning, so we can get on to the next lesson, so we can get out of this one. So y'all, thank you so much for riding with us, for coming in the living room. You already know the rundown. Don't turn it off yet. Keep it on. Don't stop it. If you're watching the YouTube channel and you have not subscribed, what are you waiting on? Come on. Join the train. It's 100. Going to make it 100 and make it 200. Y'all go ahead and share and tell everybody about it, and come in the living room and let's talk about life. Follow on social media at Katie Bryant Writes on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. And if you are keeping up with the blog that I need to write, that's on my list. That is on my list to do tomorrow. KatieBryantWrites.com. The blog is Life Unfolding. I'll be dropping my just little things that I did here, but I really want to hear from you and what you're doing, and give yourself some grace, give others grace, check on those kiddos, make sure that they are navigating through everything and learning from it. Get the big life lessons out of it, because there are so many to be had. There's so much to learn outside of any type of curriculum that we could have ever had, and just remember that and make the most out of that. And let's go ahead and get after it and get ready for this school year, and be good to yourselves and be good to each other. And again, thank you for joining in the living room. Thank you for listening to Because Life Can Be a Niche and riding with us. We are doing a giveaway, so stay tuned. But the 100 is a really big deal, and there's going to be a really big giveaway, a random drawing for the first 100 people who joined in and came in for the ride. I want to thank you, and we are doing a giveaway, so stay tuned for that. And you guys just have a wonderful, wonderful school year. If you have kiddos going, if you have grandkids, if you have nieces, nephews, godkids, whatever you got going on, I pray that it's a blessed one for you. And I will see you when I see you.